Hello, passionate Wrexham fans. How are you all? I hope so, because today's video is special. There's some hot news coming. New signings, behind-the-scenes revelations, and even a big name in Welsh football in the mix. So stay with me until the end, because I'm going to tell you everything in great detail. And of course, first of all, subscribe to the channel, leave a big like and help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. That way, you won't miss any news about our Red Dragons. Now, let's get to the first news. When someone mentions Wrexham, I bet two names come straight to mind: Paul Mullin and Ollie Palmer. This attacking duo has been a staple since the arrival of owners Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. They were the ones who helped the club rise from the National League to League One with incredible performances. But in the last few months, something has changed, and many fans have been left wondering what happened. The two were still on the pitch on January 28th, when Wrexham lost 3-2 to Stevenage at the racecourse ground. And get this, it was their first home defeat since March 2024. But after that, total silence. Neither Mullin nor Palmer played for the team again for the rest of the 2024-25 season. The fans wanted answers. What happened? Why did they just disappear from the squad? And now, finally, we have an explanation. In episode 6 of the 4th season of Welcome to Wrexham, aired in the UK on June 13th, manager Phil Parkinson opened up. According to him, the decision to leave the two out of the first team was due to their attacking performance, or rather, their lack thereof. Here's what he said. "When we signed two strikers in January, we knew someone was going to miss out. You can only bring in 7 substitutes. Mulls wasn't scoring like he usually does. He started the season well, but the goals didn't come as we expected, and at the level we're at now, that makes a big difference." He added, "It's a tougher league, the competition has increased. Paul and Ollie are great guys, they've kept training hard, but we've had to make tough choices. Promotion is no easy feat. Now, let's talk about the future of the two. Paul Mullin's contract with Wrexham runs until 2027, but he's still been linked with a possible move to Wigan Athletic in the summer of 2025. Some rumors have even suggested he could leave for free. Ollie Palmer's contract was close to ending, but he received a 1-year renewal at the end of 2024. In other words, he'll stay with us until at least 2026. And let's continue, because the second news item in the video also touches the hearts of Wrexham fans, especially those who have followed the club since the National League days. Do you remember when Wrexham signed Ollie Palmer back in January 2022? That's right. At the time, the club paid around £300,000 to get him from AFC Wimbledon. And it wasn't for nothing. The idea was to form a respectable duo alongside Paul Mullin, who had arrived a few months earlier, for free, in the summer of 2021. And look, what a duo! Together, Palmer and Mullin destroyed the National League. Despite the frustration of the 2021-22 season, they came back with everything and led Wrexham to the title in 2022-23, taking the club out of the English 5th Division. After that, the two maintained their starting positions during the club's only season in League Two. Even when Mullin was injured, Palmer remained a regular starter in attack. But things changed, and changed a lot in the second half of the 2024-25 season. And now, in the new episode of Welcome to Wrexham, which premiered on June 13th in the UK, we see a very touching moment: Palmer's reaction to losing his place in the team. At 33 years old, Palmer made 27 appearances in League One this season, scoring 3 goals and providing 2 assists. The last time he played in the league was on January 28th, in a 3-2 defeat against Stevenage. After that, Jay Rodriguez and Sam Smith, who arrived in January, took over the attack and never left. Palmer, he didn't even make it to the bench. In the episode, he is seen talking to his father on the phone, and his outburst is moving. He said, "The manager called me today. I was completely left out of the squad. I know how this works, I know the club grows very quickly, but it's tough. I love being here. The hard part is when you go from playing every week to being 7th in line." Further on, speaking directly to the camera, he vents even more. "That game against Stevenage was the last one I played in the season. Honestly, it was a mental challenge. I've never been left out like that before. I keep training, I know I'd only have a chance if someone got injured or suspended." Even though Mullin has always been the main scorer of the duo, Palmer's role has never been small. He's always been fundamental in the construction of plays and in decisive moments. And now, Wrexham fans, hold on to this story, because it's one of those stories you'll want to hear until the end. Just imagine, the father of one of our most important players ended up in a, let's say, very delicate situation with none other than Cristiano Ronaldo. And all of this because of a request that came straight from his son's heart. Yes, the story is true, and it's even recorded in a book. We're talking about Mick Rathbone, former Everton physiotherapist between 2002 and 2010. He would take his son, Ollie Rathbone, yes, the current Wrexham midfielder, to watch training sessions and spend time with the stars of the time. And just look who was there: Wayne Rooney, Duncan Ferguson. Just legends. But the one who really won little Ollie's heart was another huge name, Cristiano Ronaldo, who was shining at Manchester United. Now listen to this. Ollie, all excited, asked his father for a little favor. He wanted Mick to get CR7's autograph on a new Portugal national team jersey that he had just received for his birthday. And here comes the embarrassing, and also very human, part of the story. In his book, called The Smell of Football, Mick tells the whole story in detail. He wrote, "Sometimes, I confess that when I'm surrounded by these superstars, I feel like grabbing a pen and paper and asking for an autograph. But that was frowned upon. It didn't look very professional. But a few years ago, we played against United, and Ollie begged me to get Cristiano Ronaldo's autograph. It was a brand new Portugal national team jersey, a birthday present. I didn't want to ask. I even felt a bit silly. But, as every father knows, you'll do anything for your kids, right?" And he did. After the match, Mick stood there, his eyes wide open, waiting for Ronaldo to pass by the medical room. When he finally saw him, he didn't think twice. He went straight into the hallway with the shirt in his hand, still wearing his Everton uniform, trying to look as natural as possible in the middle of the movement. Can you imagine how nervous he was? This story shows that behind every player, even our Wrexham stars, there is a past full of dreams, childhood passions, and yes, meetings with idols. And now I ask you, if you had the chance to get an autograph from any player in history, who would it be? Answer in the comments. I want to see who is the greatest idol of our fans. To end today's video on a high note, let's talk about a possible return that could touch the hearts of Wrexham's oldest fans. Do you remember the name Danny Ward? Well, the goalkeeper who was once a promising player in our youth academy could be coming home. According to recent reports, Wrexham is in negotiations to sign Ward on a free transfer, as Leicester City has released the player from his contract. And the most curious thing, even though he was trained here, Ward never played for Wrexham's first team. That's because, when he was still very young, in 2012, Liverpool wasted no time in signing him, seeing enormous potential. But did this promise come to fruition? Unfortunately, Danny Ward's career didn't take off as expected. He failed to establish himself at Liverpool, but he showed his worth when he was loaned to Aberdeen and, most notably, to Huddersfield Town. It was there that Ward experienced the peak of his career. He helped Huddersfield gain promotion to the Premier League. At the time, even the legendary Joey Jones, who knows Wrexham and Liverpool like few others, believed in him. And let's be honest, if Joey Jones talks, we listen, right? But after that, things didn't go so well. Ward returned to Liverpool, but was stuck in Alisson's shadow. And at Leicester City, the story repeated itself. He spent years as a backup to Kasper Schmeichel. When the chance to be a starter finally came up, in 2022, he was already out of rhythm. The result? He didn't perform as expected, and Leicester soon brought in another goalkeeper, Mads Hermansen. In other words, many years without playing regularly ended up harming Ward's development. And even if he signs for Wrexham now, it's hard to imagine him overtaking Okonkwo, who has been a key player in the team. But then comes the good part of the story. 13 years after leaving the club, Ward can finally wear the Wrexham first-team jersey. And who knows, maybe he can contribute to the rise of his hometown club. Is he ready for this new stage? And what's more, do you think he should really come, even if it's just to sit on the bench? Comment below. I'd love to hear your opinion. And if you like this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell and share it with other Red Dragons fans. That way you'll help the channel grow and make sure you don't miss any news. See you in the next video with more hot news from Wrexham.